Hey, I'm Rett.
And I'm Katina. Welcome to Crete, where we've been living for over a year.
We really wanted to tell you guys about our 5 favorite things about this island. One of the coolest things about Crete is its incredible and diverse landscape. I wanted to show you how crazy diverse it is just from this one spot. We are in like ancient Phoenix, you would say. So we're really close to Lutro. And you see this all over Crete. Since we have the mountains and we have the sea, we have all these incredible places to choose from. And the filmmaker in me loves seeing all of this beauty and being surrounded by beauty. He doesn't like dramatic views, but I think with the dramatic views, you also get really diverse experiences. And this is really one of the things that separates Crete from other places in Greece, is just the diversity of its beauty.
Crete is gorgeous.
What do you mean by that, Katina? I've never heard you say that.
Well, it's 2 things. It's beautiful and it's full of gorges.
I see what you did there. That's a good pun. But no, really, there's so many gorges here, which is good if you're a hiker because there's hiking trails everywhere. There's actually one right next to us. There's all these different places to see. And that's what we're going to do with some of these vlogs coming up, is really try to make sure we're taking you to different places on the island to talk to you, and we can show you more of what makes this place so special to us. I think the food would be probably the most obvious thing, because all over Greece there's incredible food, but it's a step above here on Crete.
As the phrase goes, you come to Crete to eat, and that is incredibly true. Someone else also said you go to Crete for the meat. So, I think both of those stand very true here in Crete.
The thing about it is you have all this organic produce, everything that's grown so locally here. And most places you go in Greece, you'll see many of the same items. And you see all those here, but you also have more things. So they also have things like
snails.
Yes, you have snails. You have kalitsunia, which is like crazy. It's like fried phyllo stuffed with either cheese or veggies or like whatever.
Yeah.
You have
Antikristo, tsikariasto,
which are meats and ways of cooking meat traditionally in Crete that's different than the rest of Greece.
And I think another big thing is how affordable the food is here on Crete, where food is very affordable throughout Greece. Through our travels, we've really realized the amount of affordability that Crete offers in food.
Yeah, I think because they have their own produce, they have their own animals, they have all their own seafood, they have all the access to this. This stuff doesn't have to be brought here from somewhere else. So not only is it fresher, it's more affordable. Some places like the Cyclades can get very expensive because they kind of control their prices this way.
Yeah, something that I find to be almost amusing is throughout our travels in Greece, not only are we missing the food in Crete when we travel, but a lot of the places that we have found that we've really enjoyed turns out has Cretan chefs.
And you also can really eat gastronomy here. You can eat taverna food here. My favorite Mexican restaurant in Europe is on this island. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, you have places like Duñas in the mountains. Oh my God, it's absolutely incredible. This guy, he grows all of his own produce on his farm, and the restaurant is on the farm. And he's cooking using no electricity, only traditional Cretan methods, which it's incredible. It's a one-of-a-kind place in the world, and we actually stayed there. So we're gonna have a video coming up about this place. And this is a new thing that we're gonna bring to you guys, is we're gonna start to do a food tour of Crete. So we're gonna just sort of try to highlight some of the really special places to eat on this island because it is so good. So we're gonna try to do that without gaining a bunch of weight.
Maybe we need to hike some more gorges.
That's true. That's the beauty of it. Eat more, but stay more active. Yeah. That brings me to another one of our favorite things about this island, and that is exploring the unique villages everywhere.
Yeah, every single place has something special, from it being a stone village to an ancient village to a more modern village. There is something for everybody, and the villages of Crete are in plenty.
And what you really see in the villages too is the culture, which is another one of our favorite things about this island that makes it different, because I think the culture here, they've held on to it stronger than most of Greece. I've heard locals say things like, well, because they've been through hard times here. They really hold on to those traditions even stronger. And you feel it here. You feel it, and it's authentic. In an island that's very popular to go to, which is hard to do.
It's true. The Cretans are very proud people, and they really love keeping their tradition and culture alive, from many of the different traditions to the music to the dance. And as a Greek American who grew up dancing and having Kritikos as my favorite dance suite, it's been amazing to be here and see how deep into the culture the dance really is. And I've even joined a local dance group.
Yeah, as growing up Greek American, you kind of know everything a little better than most. Is what everybody says. Oh, you know a little bit of everything and you're really great. But since the locals here actually have held that tradition, they are constantly learning it. Like the young people from this region are learning Cretan dance, which you don't see that everywhere in Greece anymore. And they're very proud of it, but you are going and you're actually learning new dances that you didn't know, right?
Yeah, well, something that's really cool about Greek dance is while the dances can be very similar, every region will have different variations. And so while I felt like I knew Kritikos like the back of my hand, I feel like I'm completely exposed to a whole new side of these dances and learning new things, new steps, every single lesson.
Just like you were dancing it up at that Panigiris a couple weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, the Panigiris are the best. It's like what my dance heart was born for.
Yeah, and one other thing about the culture here that's really interesting is Tsikoudia. Really, it's Tsikoudia here in the western half of Crete. In the eastern half of Crete, they call it Raki, which is also what they call it in Turkey, but it's also what they call Tsiporo in northern Greece, or grappa in Italy. It's very much similar, same thing. It's distilled from grapes. It's interesting because you have it here every day. That is kind of the Cretan way. It's what makes them live longer, and don't argue with me about it. Talk to a Cretan.
A friend said their yaya does 3 shots of Tsikoudia every day for health.
I love the sunsets in Crete, just like the rest of Greece. It's hard to get to the west side of the island sometimes, but you still see incredible sunsets from everywhere. And one of the reasons you always see an incredible sunset is because the weather is so amazing.
Yeah, Crete has some of the best weather in Greece. It's pretty warm year-round, while in the winter it does get a little chilly because of the wind, but in general, it is still so nice. We were swimming in December, in January, in February.
I couldn't feel my face.
It was cold, but we were able to do it.
Yeah, they say you can swim all year if you swim every day. Just don't give it up and then get in. You do start to feel pins and needles. In February, March is actually the coldest ocean water of the year, but it's clear enough and beautiful enough to be able to do it. And honestly, for us Americans using Fahrenheit, it really doesn't get colder than mid to low 60s on the coldest days in Crete, maybe high 50s, but it's
like the 50s.
It's super windy though. That's the difference.
The wind does give you a little bit of a chill, but it's so nice. And the rainy season is relatively short and in the winter. You might get a couple days of rain towards the end of the summer, but it's still very rare.
So that's it. Those are our 5 favorite things about this island, even though there are so many more.
Yeah, I don't know how we condensed that down to 5.
I don't know. Probably because we love the food so much. The culture, the beauty, and
people.
The people I consider part of the culture because the philoxenia, the welcoming of people, it's so beautiful. And I do think we love Crete, we love Greece, but I can't imagine living anywhere else in this country based on our needs and what we like. We're going to do a video on why you would choose certain islands in Greece, because there's really only a handful that you stickly can move to year round. For us, this is the place.
This is Crete. We got off the ferry our first day here, and it just immediately felt like home. Maybe it's because my ancestors are from here.
Yeah, I think that might have something to do with it. So I hope you found this information useful, or at least entertaining.
If you like what you heard today, go ahead and like and subscribe so that way you can keep up with all of our adventures.
Πάμε στην Ελλάδα.
Πάμε στην Κρήτη.